Good morning. Early morning coffee talk. Washing machine's going. Bedhead. This is early morning coffee talk. So if you were at my house right now at, I don't know, it's a little after 6, this is what you get. This is the point. I like early morning coffee talk. So I'm going to talk to you about chapter 2 of the Wellness Revelation. Last week I just talked for a few minutes about what it was about. Um, kind of the, well, just so that I get it right, the chapter 2 title is Be Free. So that sounds amazing, right? That's what we all want. We all want it. But guess what? Living by faith requires giving up control. We can't be free until we lose or we let go of control of the things that are invading our space, overwhelming our minds, overwhelming our bodies. And so the chapter walks through doing the things that we need to do to break or to start loosening those chains. So it talks about, my glasses on, talks about idolatry and gluttony and the benefits of fasting. And then it walks you through lots of different ways to start moving forward. And the key, or one of the keys, it's like a huge keychain of keys, is we need to remember what our goal is. And with the Wellness Revelation, and I wrote it down because I write things down, the Wellness Revelation is a springboard to a holistic life. This means we seek spiritual obedience so we can have physical discipline. That's like a breath of fresh air. We want that. I know we do. I do. I can't imagine you want to be held up in bondage of whatever is holding you from living a really free, whole, healthy life. I don't know anyone that wants to be held up in what their strongholds are, what the bondage is on their life. And so in reading this book and going through the study over and over, this is my 4th time, every time I go through it, I learn something different, or I'm reminded of something that I probably didn't catch on to the first time. It's going to take time, just like anything else. You can't do it on your own strength. I started this week, it's called 30-Second Coffee Talk on Instagram. And I made a little reminder video that you don't have enough willpower. I'm so sorry to have to tell you that today. You don't. You might for a little bit of time, but it's temporary. We can't do things on our own. Let's sit on that for a minute. We don't have enough willpower. But that's a good thing because we have an option. You can choose it or you cannot. I'm not going to be the boss of you, but if you ask God, if you tell God, He already knows. Spoiler alert, He already knows. But if you tell Him, if you ask Him, if you seek Him and you go after and tell Him what you want, what you need, I'm going to say it again, what you want, tell Him. He will help you. It's a promise. He will. When you do it wholeheartedly, you can't be like, oh, please, 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 I won't do this again. Just help me. No, can't do that. It's got to be wholehearted seeking And you have to do it over and over and over and over and over and over, and it will take a lifetime, but then you can do it. My life verse is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through him who gives me strength. Through him, he gives me strength. Yes. You too. So, there you go. Let me see if I can find one more really... Okay. One last little highlighted. I am convinced that if we take time to pray before we eat, we will see a change in how much we eat. Now, it's not about the food, it's not about the fitness, but when we focus in on some of those points that we're working towards, it will help change how we see things. So whether it's something that's got a stronghold on you, or like in the beginning of idolatry and gluttony, or because food is not the enemy. Food is fuel. God gave us food, but how we react and respond to food makes a difference. It's so good. I know I always say that, it's so good. Okay, one last little tidbit. If you want your mind renewed and your body transformed, take all things to God before acting. That's it. That's all I got. Have a great week.